Today I'm going to talk about the UOB EVO's enhancement, as the bank calls it, but we all know it's a nerf, so let's call a spade and see how the card has gotten worse with this change. And look at some alternatives that we can consider to replace our UOB EVO. Now if you want to get updated on credit cards as well as great deals, subscribe to my Telegram group and more than 16,000 people have already joined. The first change is that the minimum spend has gone up from $600 to $800 per month, and that isn't that big a deal compared to what they have done to the cashback mechanic. Under the old scheme, UOB says that it gives 8% cashback on online transactions as well as paywave transactions. But if we look at the sub-limits of each category, right, it is only $20 for online as well as $20 for paywave transactions. But the minimum spend is $600 per month. If you take $40 divided by $600, you only get 6.7% cashback, thereabouts. Now 6.7% is a pretty decent earn rate, so I think we all close one eye when it comes to UOB's dubious marketing of 8% cashback. But the bank is really pushing this a little bit too far with this current change, because now it's advertising an enhanced rate of 10% cashback. But if you look at the different categories and the sub-limits, you can never ever get 10% cashback. Under the new mechanics, online and mobile categories are now merged into one with a sub-limit of $30. And there's a new category of overseas in-store foreign currency transaction, which has a $20 limit. All other spend will get 0.3% cashback, which is a really pathetic rate, and even then they put a cap to it at $30, as if anyone wants to max this category out. So if you were to use the UOB Evo the way we have been using it to make online transactions or mobile contactless payments at retail stores, and we meet the minimum spend of $800 within the month, we will only get $30 of cashback, because that's the limit to this category, and $30 out of $800 is just 3.75%. Now that's a really drastic drop, almost half of the previous 6.7% cashback rate. Now you can actually optimize this a little bit and make $300 worth of spend on online and mobile contactless category, and then for the remaining $500 you use the physical card, so that you can actually get 0.3% under the other spend category, which will bump up your effective cashback rate to about 3.93%, right? It's a bit like squeezing blood from a rock, but yeah, it still improves the overall cashback yield somewhat. Now, even if we look at the second category of overseas in-store transactions and we max that out, putting $200 of spend here, our total cashback is $50, and out of $800, that's a 6.25% cashback rate. This is nowhere 10% as advertised, and at the risk of losing any future sponsorship with the bank, right, I would say that this is actually very deceptive marketing, and no one should be able to market like this. Otherwise, I'll start a satisfied cashback card that gives you 100% cashback, but the cashback cap is only $10, and you have a minimum spend of $2,000 within the month to hit this 100% cashback. Yeah, it's pointless to have cashback rates that are just not achievable. In any case, for local transactions, this card will only give under 4% cashback, and this is my primary card of choice as well as cashback card of the year 2022. And I must give credit to the bank for maintaining this cashback rate for as long as it did, but I'm probably going to look for alternatives.
This video is brought to you by Mumu, and you can sign up for great rewards and use their app to invest in US Treasuries. US Treasuries are issued by the US federal government and are considered to be relatively safe instruments because they are backed by the US government. Using the Mumu app, go to Wealth, tap on Bonds, and you can easily look at US Treasury bonds available with yield to maturity of over 4 to 5%. US Treasuries can provide regular payouts for those looking for a source of income. It may be something to consider right now when rates are high, because the rates are locked in after you invest. You can start with a minimum investment of $1,000 and enjoy zero commission with Mumu. Also, new users can get free shares as well as 6.8% per annum guaranteed returns. Please note that Mumu Cash Plus is an investment product. Principal is not guaranteed, and up to 30 days of 6.8% per annum is guaranteed only during the promotional period. After the promotional period, interest is not guaranteed. This is not comparable and is different from a fixed deposit or savings deposit. Investment in any capital market products involves risks and the risk of losing principal. Simply sign up with the link below, deposit the required funds, and make buy trades to qualify. Plus, get as much as 6.8% per annum guaranteed returns on the first $80,000 of your holdings. In total, that's as much as $970 plus $20 for using my link in welcome rewards when you sign up for Mumu and meet the requirements. Try out Mumu today, and the promo ends 16 July 2024. Thanks for signing up, and thanks to Mumu for sponsoring this video.
Now, if you're a UOB One account holder and have been relying on the UOB Evo for extra interest from your UOB One account, the natural alternative would be the UOB One cashback card. However, I think that the UOB One itself also does not give you much better cashback rate unless you spend a lot on the UOB One's bonus merchants. UOB One card requires you to make a spend of $500, $1,000, or $2,000 per month for 3 consecutive months before you can get your cashback, and the cashback rate is 3.33%. 3.33% is obviously lower than 3.75 that the UOB Evo can get, and therefore you might be better off sticking to the UOB Evo card, unless of course you can't meet the $800 minimum spend of the new Evo cashback mechanics. or if you spend quite a lot on UOB One's bonus merchants, because that can actually skew the cashback rate up. The thing is, a lot of merchants on this list are actually dairy farm merchants, which gives you high rebates on the DBS Yu card. So you might actually want to use the DBS Yu card if you have a lot of spending in these areas anyway, right? So the only merchants that I feel are good for the UOB One card will be things like Shopee, Grab, and McDonald's. So if you spend a lot on these merchants, right, the UOB One card would be perfect. Otherwise, you may want to look at the UOB Ladies card, which, yes, is not a cashback card, but it gives you 4 miles per dollar on a category that you select. You can choose from dining, groceries, transportation, travel, etc. And the good thing is that there's no minimum spend on the UOB Ladies card, so you can just spend $500, meet the UOB One account requirement, and be done with it. The downside is that the UOB Ladies card only allows you to select one category. But of course, if you qualify for the UOB Solitaire Ladies card, you can actually choose 2 categories, which make life a bit easier. Personally, I find a single category a bit too restrictive because I don't spend $500 in a single category by itself. So yeah, if I pick dining, I don't think I can meet $500, neither can I do it for groceries, etc. But 4 miles per dollar to me is more valuable than 3.75% cashback. So looking through my expenses, if I feel that I can confidently get 4 miles per dollar using the UOB Ladies card on at least $500 of spend, then yes, I will switch to the UOB Ladies card. If you were to look outside the UOB ecosystem, right, I think the Maybank Family and Friends card is a very good alternative because it gives you 8% cashback and it can really deliver to you 8% cashback as advertised. For those who are new to Maybank Family and Friends, the card requires a minimum spend of $800 and you must pick 5 categories out of available 10 to make your spending in. Each category comes with a cashback cap of $25, meaning to say you shouldn't spend more than $312.50 on each category. The categories are things like groceries, dining, transportation, etc. Right? Check out my full review for more information on that. And if you can make your minimum spend of $800 amongst these categories, you'll get your 8% cashback, which is a very good rate. Now, compared to UOB Evo, I think the downside of the Maybank Family and Friends card is that it is very particular about the MCC that you're spending in, because the UOB Evo just requires you to go to a retail store, pay using your phone, or buy something online and you'll get your 6.7% cashback previously, whereas the Maybank Family and Friends requires you to spend in particular categories. So I think you need to look through your transactions and then figure out whether or not that the Maybank Family and Friends categories are actually relevant to you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now by looking through the transaction history of my UOB Evo over the past month to see whether or not I'll benefit from the Maybank Family and Friends. After looking through my transaction history, I realized I actually have 5 categories that I can choose on Maybank Family and Friends card, and they are dining, fitness, groceries, transport, and telco, right? But the unfortunate thing is that all the spends on these 5 categories amount only to $322. Now I have a few $100s that I actually spend on 5814, which is the fast food category. Now, it's not all fast food that I've been eating, right? Because a lot of things are actually 5814, even though they don't look like fast food. Shopback vouchers, for instance, code as 5814, and there are some eateries that look like a restaurant, charge like a restaurant, and yet are still coded as 5814, so I have no idea why this is the case. And Maybank Family and Friends does not support 5814 as part of the dining category, and therefore people who spend quite a bit on such places may find the Maybank Family and Friends dining category very hard to meet. However, with just $322 of eligible spend and 8% cashback, that's $25. So if I'm able to hit the Maybank Family and Friends $800 minimum spend with non-eligible transaction, I will still be able to get about 3+% cashback on just $322 of eligible spend. Also, if I'm using the Maybank Family and Friends card, I think I would alter my spending a little bit, right? Look at the tracker more often and make sure that more of my spending falls under the 8% categories. And I should be able to get more cashback than this new UOB Evo will give me. Now, another card that I think might be a good replacement to the UOB Evo will be the DBS Yu card. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey Seth, DBS Yu is only for a bunch of merchants and is nowhere as versatile as the old UOB Evo, which gave its high cashback rate on things like PayWave and online transactions, right? So why is DBS Yu a good replacement? My answer to that would be DBS Yu actually gives such a high rebate to you merchants that even if you have some non-eligible spend making up the minimum spend of $600 per month, your effective cashback yield is still pretty good. If you can spend at least $300 on new merchants, you can actually spend the other $300 on anything else and get an effective rate of 9% rebates. Even if you can only spend $200 on new merchants, you can spend the remaining $400 on just about anything else as long as they are not excluded, and then you get a blended rate of about 6.1% rebates, and that's still higher than what this new Evo will give you. And yeah, the DBS Yu's earn rate is so fantastic that even if you use it suboptimally, you still get a very high rate. Yeah, so don't ignore the DBS Yu. Now lastly, as proud citizens of Value City, we should also look at the miles card to see whether or not we can get better value from there. And I think we can actually consider 4 miles per dollar cards. Now, of course, I think that 6.7% cashback is higher than 4 miles per dollar. But in turn, 4 miles per dollar is also higher than 3.75% cashback. And there are actually 3 cards that are very similar to UOB Evo, and they all give 4 miles per dollar. And the first would be UOB's very own Preferred Platinum Visa, which gives 4 miles per dollar when you add your card to the phone and then use your phone to pay at contactless terminals, just like the UOB Evo. Now you can also use this for online, although online transactions, you have to follow the MCC code set forth by the UOB PPV's terms and conditions. But it should still get you 4 miles per dollar on many transactions you can do online, with the notable exception of things like air tickets. City Rewards is the next card on this list, and this card is meant for online transactions, and it will give you 4 miles per dollar as well. Although for the longest time, about 2 years now, you can actually add it to Instagram Amaze card, and then use the Instagram Amaze card to pay at retail stores, and thus give you 4 miles per dollar on your City Rewards as well. So it works a lot like the UOB Evo. Again, a notable exception is travel related expenses, and that will be your air tickets, hotel, etc. Don't use your City Rewards to pay for these stuff. Finally, we had the HSBC Revolution, which has been nerfed quite a bit over the past few months, but it is still pretty similar to UOB Evo because you can use it online, you can use it at retail shops, and you will get your 4 miles per dollar, provided the transaction falls in the list of MCCs in the Revolution's terms and conditions. Now that's my list of cards that can replace the UOB Evo. Do you have more suggestions? Leave them in the comments below. Now, as my primary card for about 2 years now, it's sad to see this being nerfed. But yeah, such is life, and we should milk when the cow is fat. For myself, I wouldn't be sad over this for too long, and I'll move on to other cards, right? Such is the nature of chasing card rewards. So subscribe to my Telegram group for more updates and great deals. And check out this video where I rank many different cards, so that can give you more inspiration on a card that can replace your UOB Evo. And I'll see you in that video.